everyone, Joe Brady back here with you to pick up where we left off last time. And I've got the same image. And if you remember last time, we started with this raw image and we used the 5 basic sliders to turn it into that. And we made a lot of progress, but there's still more to do. So we're going to move on to something else, and that is adjusting local color to give more depth, more three-dimensional depth to the image. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a virtual copy of this, which is Command or Control apostrophe, and that makes an extra copy of it. I'm going to do that so that we can bounce back and forth and you can see. So as we look at this image, again, one of the biggest problems our cameras have is they can only do one white balance. And most scenes, particularly in landscapes, have multiple light balances. We've got something going on back here. The sky is a little off. Everything's kind of a uniform color, which in reality it would not be. So let's fix that. Now, the biggest thing we want to follow is warming and cooling, meaning warming would be adding yellow and magenta. Cooling would be adding blue and green. Now, as I look, whenever I'm out of place, I will stare at the colors. And all of this gravel that we see down here, although we improved it last time, still needs to be a little bluer. It needs to be a little cooler. So we're going to use the brush. And we come up here to the masking panel, this circle here, click on that, and we're going to use the brush. Now, the brush defaults to this thing called Automask. What does that mean? Well, you get this big circle here. Let's make it bigger so you can see. If you're on Automask, and for example, if I were to click on this mountain, notice it only selects the tones that match underneath the crosshair, and it leaves the sky alone. I'm going to undo that. And if I create a brush again, but this time turn off Automask, and click on this same spot, it selects everything in the circle. So Automask allows you to minimize or where stuff's going to go. So let's hit brush again. And what I'm going to do is work on this foreground, which is still off. So I'm just going to drag along this gravel. Oh, let me turn back on Automask because I want to come up this path and then over to here. And I think that's the areas that I want to affect. I want to make them a little cooler. So we come down to the temperature slider and we're going to make it bluer. And there we go. Look, notice how adding the blue takes the yellow out of it. And notice how it's already starting to separate. Also, as I'm looking at this, I think this entire thing is a little too bright. Let's bring the whites down just like we did with the sliders last time. And I think we may play with this again a little bit more later. So that's already an improvement because let's go up to the mask. And if we click on the eyeball here, we can hide it. And look what that's done. It's already changed kind of the flow of the image. The other thing that needs help is the mountain range in the back. Its color is way off. So we're going to create new mask again. And by the way, while we're here, notice that brush and the gradients have keyboard shortcuts. K, M, and Shift M for these 3 that we're going to use a lot. If you remember the K key, you don't even have to go up to this panel. Just hit the letter K on your keyboard and it's going to give you a brush. So we've got our brush here. I'm going to make it a little smaller. I do want to make sure Automask is on because I just want to get the mountain range. So I'm just clicking and dragging along here. Now, occasionally it's not perfect. I can't like here because some of the surrounding area is a very similar color. So what I'm going to do is hold down the Option key. Watch what happens to the brush. It turns to a minus. So now we can come on this part of the foreground that we don't want affected. And did we get any of the sky? No, I don't think so. So let's do the same thing. We're going to make the mountains bluer. Oh, that's looking a lot better. Also, we're going to increase the blacks by bringing the slider down to the left to add some more contrast. In fact, we can add some contrast as well. And actually, I think that's pretty good. And again, let's turn the mask on and off and look at the difference at the mountains. I remember these mountains being much grayer. So now our biggest remaining part is this midground right here. Watch this. I'm just going to hit K, which creates a new mask. And we've got Automask on. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to drag along here and select this middle area that is kind of warmer and we want it to be warm. All right, so first thing, I'm going to add some contrast to it. Let's add contrast. Already helps. I'm going to bring up the exposure a little bit. That's better. And let's add a little more yellow to it. Actually, it didn't need a lot. Now, tint. Do we need some more red in this? Let's see. Let's push it over. No. Maybe more green. Actually, you know what? If neither of them look better, that means leave it alone. Maybe a very little bit of magenta, actually, as I look at that more closely. And look what we've done so far. Let's come up to here. And if I click on the eyeball above the masks, we can show all of them turned off. Look, there's our before, and there's the after. Look at how much more dimension and motion. You're actually feeling the desire to follow this path up to the mountains. We could say we're done. But as always, I can't leave well enough alone. I need to show you something else that's really cool. First of all, the sky temperature's off a little bit. So let's go up to our masks again and create a new mask. And this time we're going to just tell it to select the sky. The blue is a little weak. Again, the sky was a different color temperature. It needs a little bit more blue back into it. Oh, that's better. However, we're all about creating dimension today. So I'm going to throw something new at you. We're going to jump ahead to a class that I'm going to do soon. We're going to use a gradient. So let's go up to mask again. And let's create a linear gradient. And this is a little advanced in Photoshop. I'm going to click at the base of the mountains and come up to here. What I'm after is the lower part of the sky, but I've got all this stuff underneath. But Lightroom has this powerful feature hidden under these three dots. If you click on here, you have the option to intersect the gradient mask we just created with something else. In this case, the sky. If we do this, what we're going to end up with is a mask that are only the places where both the gradient and the sky exist. So if we click on that, watch what happens. And look at that. We just get that green area above the mountains. Typically on a sky, as it gets down lower to the horizon, it lightens up a bit. So we're going to bring the exposure up a little bit. Look at that. Look at how much, depth really is the best word for it, that creates in the sky, and it actually looks so much better. And again, we hide all the masks. Look, we went from that to that with our color temperatures. One more thing I can't let go. Where does your eye go? This little brush, or big brush right over here, is a little too bright. This bottom part of the gravel is a little too bright. I want to just bring them down a little bit so that they don't end up being the place your eye goes. So we're going to get a brush again, create new mask brush. This time I'm going to turn off Automask. I just wanted to get everything in here. So I'm going to start painting on this brush, and I'm going to come down to this corner as well, just about there. Anywhere else it's too bright. Actually, this area right here is a little too bright. And I'm just going to bring the brightness down a little bit. Watch this. Let's just bring it down a little. Just by bringing it down a little bit, it doesn't draw the eye. It's not a lot. But wow, what a difference. So let's hit enter, get out of that. And let's look where we've come. Here's our original. Let's go to full screen to see this. Here's our last edit. And here's what we've done today. Look at the difference. How much more beautiful that is, and how much more three-dimensional depth there is because of these changes in color. Is there more? Yes. And I think we might do one more follow-up on this in the next video to add a little bit more of perfection. Could we be done? Absolutely. But I'm going to share a couple other things compositionally that will make this even a little bit better. So stay tuned. I'll be back to you next week with another video. And I thank you for joining me. Have a great week. Bye-bye.